So right there, I'm still on the throttle. Now the fulcrum point is lower because of the ground speed. Like I've said, it's a little too fast. But I'm still getting the back of the truck whipped around too quickly. Hello everybody, welcome back to another driver breakdown. And this video, we're going to talk about my 2019 World Finals run in Mohawk Warrior. And we almost crashed on the second hit of the run. And so Gage Whitfield, an amazing Monster Jam fan, sent me this link and said, hey, can you just break down the run? So let's look at a couple of the highlights that Monster Jam posted from this run. I think I finished 8th that night. Let's take a look at the highlights, but then we want to look at the entire freestyle competition. And so, by the way, Gage, thank you for sending in the request. I love it when you fans send me what you want to see. All right. Couple highlights here. This was the second hit of the night, and everyone was like, oh no. And then miraculously, they didn't shut me off. Big air, body coming apart because of the crash from the second hit. Nice little, I'll call it a sky wheel, and a massively over-rotated backflip. All right. All right, so let's break down this moment, though, because there were some cool moments in that run. But for me as a competitor, like I look back at a couple of these elements. I've not watched this entirely, but man, the thing that annoys me the most is the way that I started off the run. Like I come off of this hill, and to be honest with you, like I'm just way too timid. Before I hit my first run, and I've changed that. Like, I want to come out there with some attitude, and I learned this from the Andersons. They're like, man, Ryan's big on this. He's like, man, I want everyone to be like, oh, son of a digger's here. That's what I want people to say whenever I hit the track. Obviously, I didn't start off this run strong. My plan was to hit the back of the truck and like to kind of do a little bit of a bunny hop, and it didn't work, and I bailed on it because obviously I brought the front down. I could not believe they didn't shut me off. I was having some sort of fuel issues right here with all the twists and turns and flips. Like, I'm sure it kind of starved the engine of some fuel there. And so it was trying to die on me. And so thankfully, again, it didn't die on me. I kept the run going. But I was trying to get the momentum going back. So as a driver, let me pause for a second. As a driver, when something like that happens, you're both so stoked. Like, oh my gosh, we got to save right away. You're also trying to get your bearings because you have this massive adrenaline rush. When you're in the middle of a save like that, I call it going into a fight or flight mode. Like you're just fighting the truck, and then when you come out of it, man, you've got so much adrenaline, sometimes you forget what you were trying to do. If I had a plan going into this freestyle, it obviously went out the window as of right now. And I'm just trying to get back to figuring out what I want to do, especially early on in my career. I can tell I'm thinking too much at this point in the run. Let's get around. Let's get some good jumps. Feel out the truck. There we go. You're trying to feel it again. Oh, collect it. Hit whatever's in front of you. Sometimes I see drivers try to avoid the jump that's right in front of them. I've never understood that. Oh, I got shut off here. I don't remember if I got shut off or if we were still having those fuel issues. Oh no, they're trying to get some stuff off the track. Here we go. Yeah, baby. Whoop. See, I knew that jump, I remember thinking about that jump being like really sharp, which is why I hit it on my second hit. Almost absolutely. I don't know if I would have been able to forgive myself had I crashed on that second hit, but here we go. We're making something out of nothing. Well, anytime the truck stops too, if they're clearing the track or anything like that, like as a driver, you've got to do something to get everybody's attention back because it's such an adrenaline drop for them if you're not careful. So it looks like I've had about 3 hits ever since the stoppage. I don't know how much time is left in my freestyle. It seems oh my gosh. Okay. Terrible over rotation, and this is exactly what happened. So back when we had the trench boxes at first, I really could not figure them out. The dumpsters, back when they were kind of a soft wall, you were trying to get some good speed and then throttle through it because that wall gave. When we went to these trench boxes, it was a solid wall, and like everyone had to adjust, and I just couldn't get it right. If I went too slow, I felt like I would either go too slow. You know, we talked about the fulcrum point on some of these backflips in the past. Like if you go really slow, the fulcrum point where like the front of the truck where it's kind of trying to flip around, it's higher. And so it's easier to over-rotate. If you're going too fast, then it kind of bounces the truck off of the wall, and you still have the chance to over-rotate. Ever since we went to the ramps that are now our transitions for the trench boxes, I actually hit them like I used to hit the dumpsters, and I don't remember the last time I crashed on one. And if you notice, like, there's way less crashes after we changed the transitions to those trench boxes. So this particular over-rotation, I went way too fast. So if you look at the ground speed and then match it with my throttle, I give it 100% throttle right when the front tires touch, like I used to do with the dumpsters. So combining the ground speed with 100% throttle is what caused that over-rotation. Let's take a look. Really fast. Boom. 100% throttle. I wasn't even into the throttle really long. But look at this fulcrum point. I talk about kind of that. We're going back to the physics of all of this, huh? I'm going to try to pause it too right when it's over-rotated. So right there, I'm still on the throttle. Now, the fulcrum point is lower because of the ground speed. Like I've said, it's a little too fast. But I'm still getting the back of the truck whipped around too quickly. And it just doesn't have, it's not giving the truck an opportunity to drop that fulcrum point down and actually land all four tires in this move. So watch the front of the truck. It doesn't drop at all. That's why I over-rotated. See, I'm coming back around. Okay, it dropped a couple of feet, but you get where I'm coming from. If you hit that right and correctly, it should allow that fulcrum point to kind of drop as the truck's coming around, but I didn't. In fact, look at that. It's like the front of the truck whipped around and then even went back high in the over rotation, which is kind of crazy to think about the physics. But hey, that's what happens when you have 12,000 pounds doing a backflip. Anyway, I cannot believe I finished 8th in this run. It was cool. I've got one of my favorite photos ever as they were dragging me off. The body's completely off the truck. I'm out of the cab and just like celebrating with the fans. How cool that World Finals really was. Loved that racing track. I really loved that freestyle track too. Like, it gave enough of opportunities for you to get big air while still kind of like collecting the truck when you need. But man, I'm sure glad that I didn't end that night on that second hit of the night where I almost dumped it like that. We got a cool save. And man, I'm glad that the 2019 World Finals went the way it did for everybody. That was a great event. All right, make sure you're liked, subscribed. Hey, share some of this stuff on social. If there's something that you like, do us a favor. Share them on your Instagram stories, or try to repost them where you can. And then let me know what you want to see next, and maybe I'll just break down your video.